Good day to audience around the world. Today is Monday, November 16th, 2020, and it's now 11:30 p.m. in Taiwan. I'm Fiona Zhang Xinfang. Welcome to the weekly report of the world new religion, Taiwan Weixin Shengjiao at Weixin TV station. Let's begin with the latest update of Weixin Shengjiao Amitabha Buddha birthday celebration and benediction ritual for national protection and disaster elimination. In response to the global pandemic of COVID-19, Weixin fellows follow the holy revelation of Wangchan Laozu and the religious rites instructed by Grandmaster Hunyuan Chanshi to offer this 99-day Dharma feast and to continuously pray for the pandemic and natural disasters subside in 196 countries around the world. During the ritual, the students of Yijing University spontaneously registered for the test of stir-frying the 5 grains. The participants travel from various places in Taiwan to our headquarters, Xianfeng Temple, in the middle of the night. Following the procedures and timetable of Weixin World Peace Promotion Association, everyone worked together to complete the important Dharma test of stir-frying the grains and spreading the grain ashes at Weixin Shengjiao main altar. Performing these rites is for the long-term stability of the world and for the world to be able to harvest grains without war. Let's watch the following detailed report and listen to the latest instruction from Grandmaster Hunyuan Chanshi on the current status of the global epidemic.
Headquarters Chengjisan Xianfeng Temple of Chengjisan Weixin Shengjiao held ritual for Amitabha Buddha birthday celebration for national protection and disaster elimination of the year Dongzi. The ritual lasted 99 days long and finished completed on 9th. This is the 60th ritual we have ever had. On every morning, we had Dean of Weixin Shengjiao chanting college Master Yuan Song, led Weixin Virtuous Fellows and representatives chanting scriptures to worship the spirits from the 3 realms and the 10 Dharma directions along with incense, flowers, fruits, and delicacy. In addition, we had volunteers prepared 5 crops, flowers, incense, and wine to worship the plague shrouded over 196 countries. With benefits from chanted scriptures, we prayed for disasters elimination, grievances resolving, prosperity and harvest, and no hunger for human beings. While people around the world pay attention to the U.S. president election, COVID-19 continued to ravage the world and is now breaking the 50 million confirmed cases. In the United States, it's now fatal stage with confirmed cases increased over 100,000 cases every day. In Europe, the epidemic is even more severe with 1 million new confirmed cases every 3 days. According to foreign media reports, Europe has become the most severely affected area in the world, accounting for 51% of new cases and 24% of deaths worldwide. Among them, France had an average of 54,400 new cases every day in the past week, which is more severe than India. European countries is now under a new status of lockdown. Grandmaster Hunyuan Chanshi gave Weixin Virtuous Fellows some encouraging words on 9th. The karma of human beings accumulate profoundly, and it is really hard to resolve it at one time. We hope all Weixin Virtuous Fellows would continue to work on scriptures chanting to eliminate disasters and resolve grievances.
99法会已经过的第60坛了，每一坛都是本着天心照大地，天心照人间，名扬两界同观照的原则，大家很用心、很努力的在为国修道、为人类来祈福。这是唯心圣教的教义落实在每一个阶段、每一个的天运。有灾劫，有后患来的时候，所有唯心弟子、佛会大众等 均以诚心、虔心来恭诵诸经和供养三宝，供养香花果串以及供养五谷，化为珍宝来供养法会坛上各个莲座、诸祖灵、诸圣灵，皆得与我唯心贤士同修合会，心香法界，造太平，共祈天下太平的大法轮。庚子年的天温来来往往，去而复来，来而又去，在这里反反复复的，因为众生的业太深厚，累积了无量劫来的深厚的怨恨情仇，所以在当下性一下子要全部灭掉，是一个很困难的，但是我们不会因而退道。我们所有唯心贤士，本着为国修道、为人类祈福的终极目标，我们在努力，在努力，在努力，以达台湾的平安。在当下，今日第660坛，整个的地球北端的疫情将在那反反复复，所以我们了解了，我们就仍然以经宝来供养，来作为解冤释结、消灾化解。所以我们今天已经是60坛了。我们感恩玉皇大帝允我唯心弟子和为大众的表达和修行方式，祈愿呢龙天护法保苍生，化解明阳两界的战争，亦愿人心相疼爱，同祈世界永和平。这个是人类的尊严和人类要努力的方向。我们祈愿各位唯心弟子、和会大众等，你们都很辛苦你们的辛苦是会得到报赏和代价的回馈，给各位你们的努力、你们的心血。所以希望各位同修人，大家再接再厉，务必达到老祖师尊给我们的方向：天下太平，天下太平，台湾平安，世界真和平祝福各位。
微信 report 南投。
Take a break. We will come back soon. The 15th altar of Chinese United Ancestors Worship Ceremony of Changjishan Weixin Shengjiao will be held at 1 p.m. on January 1st, 2021 at Taoyuan Linkou Stadium in Taiwan. Grandmaster Hunyuan Chanshi instructed that this would be the completion altar for the ancestor worship ceremony. All the branch temples and the fellow cultivators are making full preparation for the upcoming grand ceremony. The solemn Dharma feast, fragrant flowers, fruit and delicacy dishes, spiritual treasures, and the Dharma treasures from each educational and research unit of Weixin Shengjiao will be presented in the ceremony as the offerings not only to Buddhas and deities, but also to the common ancestors of mankind. We will then sincerely pray for world peace by gathering the hearts of filial piety through tracing back the origin in the ceremony. Please enter the special report of the ancestor worship ceremony.
The 15th Order of the Chinese United Ancestors Worship Ceremony is going to be hosted on January 1, 2021 at Linkou Arena. Weixin Shengjiao has started to host ancestors worship ceremony since 2004 for worshipping Chinese ancestors, tracing the starting point of all human grievances back to the grievance of the battle of 3 Chinese ancestors in Zhuolu to resolve grievances of specific historical character. This ancestors worship ceremony is not only to settle ancestors' minds, bring harmony to generations of the Chinese, hand in hand, heart to heart, but also together to turn the Dharma wheel of world peace, pray for the world as one family. During the cultivation assembly with the staff of the temple on November 9th, Weixin Shengjiao Grandmaster Hunyuan Chanshi reminds Director Mr. Wu of Chinese United Ancestors Worship Ceremony Association and Master Yuan Yi that all Weixin Virtuous Fellows should fully devote themselves into the preparation works of the 15th Order of Ancestors Worship Ceremony. This altar will be the completion altar, the lotus seeds of the gods of plague and negativities in 196 countries are going to be invited to Linkou Arena to receive the veneration and Dharma offerings, pray for return back to the Southern Heaven Pure Land and reborn in the Western Buddhist Pure Land. Grandmaster Hunyuan Chanshi requests that each branch temple and each unit of Weixin Shengjiao should work closely with best attitude to contribute to the success of the ceremony. Meanwhile, he also encouraged virtuous fellows continue its efforts to invite personal affiliates join this wonderful ceremony and together see our ancestors off return back to the Western Buddhist Pure Land. Ancestors Worship Ceremony Association and each branch temple all followed Grandmaster Hunyuan Chanshi's instructions, presided the preparatory meeting to make the arrangements of gathering people and public transport to attend the 15th completion altar of 2021 Chinese United Ancestors Worship Ceremony. Weixin Report Headquarters Sanfo Temple.
For celebrating and welcoming the 2021 Chinese Xinchou Year of Ox, Ding Yuancang of the Planning Institute of Weixin Shengjiao is planning a garden landscape theme of Welcome the Year of Gold Ox with Spring Flowers. Last week, Ding Yuancang reported the theme to Grandmaster Hunyuan Chanshi at Weixin Shengjiao Bagua Holy City. Let's learn more about it.
The code of feng shui is blended into the nature of the constructions that Weixin Shengjiao has planned with an emphasis on this point. Because of careful planning, people who visit Weixin Shengjiao will enjoy the beauty of the nature. Weixin Shengjiao Grandmaster Hunyuan Chanshi had a tour of inspection on the 6th. At Baguang Mountain, Yijing University, where Weixin Shengjiao main order is located. He had a discussion with Ding Yuancang of the Planning Institute regarding the garden landscape in Yijing University. The new year is around the corner, and the Grandmaster Hunyuan Chanshi is planning to decorating the Yijing University garden themed Welcome the Year of Gold Ox with spring flowers to encourage people visiting Yijing University. Since the world has been suffered from the pandemic a lot, Grandmaster Weixin Shengjiao hopes that people can welcome the future with hope and happiness. At the same time, a trail to the garden has been reserved to let visitors take pictures and to avoid flowers from stepping. Later on, Grandmaster Weixin Shengjiao walked to the part of garden near the Nine Dragons Wall. Compared to garden below, this area is not only quiet, but also beautiful. In addition, an arbor sitting at the corner of the garden has a full view of Nantou City, which will amaze people. Weixin Shengjiao Yi Jing University welcomes everyone to visit. It's a place that you can definitely relax yourself so as to have courage to embrace the future. Weixin Report, Weixin Shengjiao Main Order.
For another branch temple activities, the temple host of Tainan Guiren Dashi Dianhou, Dr. Yang Wucai, offered the course of Tianlong 8-style Qigong at the starting point of World Peace Taichung Branch Temple on November 7th. Please watch the footage of the first course.
Being the director of Chinese Qigong Therapy Association, Abbot of Taiwan San Dashi Dian Temple and Doctor of Chinese Medicine, Dr. Yang Wucai, opened Tai Chi Heavenly Dragon 8-style Qigong class at Weixin Shengjiao Branch Temple on 7th of November. He delivered the skill of combining body, heart, and spirit in practicing to explore invisible potential and character, as well as creating new energy. The class started on Saturdays from 7 to 9 p.m. Each session lasts for 2 months. All virtuous fellows are welcome to join and learn to complete their body and soul. Dr. Yang attended the interview of TV program The Immortal Traits of Wang Canao, introducing Heavenly Dragon 8 Styles Qigong, which received Outstanding Qigong Prize for 5 consecutive years in International Medical Qigong Demonstration Ceremony between 2006 and 2019. This award was published in the International Medical Qigong magazine. This Qigong is easy to manage, which is suitable to modern people to train physically and mediate their bodies and organs. Their health can have remarkable improvement with only 10 minutes practice per day. Dr. Yang led the fellows to practice Zen meditation at Yangxian Hall and demonstrated Heavenly Dragon 8 styles at Ultimate Plaza. He shared the breathing skill and the action pattern. All virtuous fellows had opportunity to learn. Weixin Report, Taichung.
Take a break. We will come back soon. It's time for Weixin Shengjiao feature story. My colleague is here to share with you the real story of how to utilize Yi Jing Feng Shui in our daily lives. Wish you enjoy the story of this week.
Hello everyone, A弥陀佛. Welcome back to Weixin Shengjiao feature story. Today we are going to continue the real story about Mr. Liu. Last month, there was one virtuous fellow, Mr. Liu, returned to Xianfosi Temple to express gratitude to Grandmaster Weixin Shengjiao. Since all of his family members were high-tempered, it would frequently bring his whole family into conflict with each other when they get together. Around 1 year ago, Mr. Liu started to watch Weixin TV station. He found that it is really helpful when his whole family see the program Weixin World Fairs, recorded by Grandmaster Weixin Shengjiao every night. His family was surprisingly less of acrimony. He further told to Grandmaster Weixin Shengjiao that he felt happy and calm in his mind after seeing the program. However, he found that it was easy to get upset if he was too busy to watch the program. Weixin Shengjiao told Mr. Liu that It was wrong if he found that his mind was in turmoil without seeing the program. Each time when someone gave us a few words of wisdom, we should practice it in our daily life. Otherwise, it will become useless, like we just glancing idly through a magazine. According to 艮卦 from 易经, 艮means mountain. When we overturned the balls, its shape was like a mountain. Such constant characteristic and sympathy represent our nature of minds. Grandmaster 混元禅师 suggested Mr. Liu to place some balls and overturned it in every corner of his home. When conflicts arise in his family, those overturned balls will remind them to be like a still mountain, because mountains would always exist here, no matter it is raining, windy, or suffering from sunburn. Only when they realize it, his family members can deal with temper, then improve it. After another 2 weeks, he came back to Xianfossi Temple again and pressed the ball truly had the Lord. He followed what he was advised from Grandmaster 混元禅师, and it has been 10 days since he overturned some balls in the corners of his home and found that his family could get along well without arguments. 混元禅师 told him, "There is none Lord of the ball. It is our natural, constant self-natural. When we see overturned balls, it reminds us to reach the calmness of mind. We don't need to pursue Tao in high mountains, because Chan is everywhere in the mundane world, and Tao exists everywhere around us in our daily lives." Grandmaster 混元禅师 further instructed, "The trigram of Gen is a yang yao on top of 2 yin yao. It means that we can cover up all our worries in the overturned balls just as 艮卦 shown. However, if we place the ball upright, it becomes 正卦, which is a yang yao at the bottom of 2 yin yao. That is just like all the darkness of worries blocks the brightness. The only way to leave worries is to have the determination. That is the Chan." Thank you for watching today's feature story. We wish you all the best, peace, and health. See you next time.
In terms of our branch temple activities, Kaohsiung Shanling Branch Temple has been successful in planting pumpkins for many years and has accumulated a lot of farming experiences. Pumpkin seedlings began to be planted on November 3rd. Let's participate in the busy farming process of Master Yuan Pu and the fellow cultivators.
On November 3rd, the Virtuous Fellow Huang Yulong, under the instruction of Master Yuan Pu, the abbot of Chanjishan Weixin Shengjiao Kaohsiung Shanling Branch Temple, to lead the volunteers to plant chestnut pumpkin seedlings, hoping for a good harvest. Shanling Branch Temple started planting high unit price chestnut pumpkin in 2017. This year has entered its 4th year. Due to a lack of technical guidance at the beginning, all volunteers learned from exploration, so the first year's harvest was not satisfactory. After 3 years of experimentation and learning, last year's planting of 3,000 square meters of land yielded a harvest of more than 1,800 kilograms. After deducting the cost of fertilizer and materials, it also brought another extra income to the branch temple. This year, Virtuous Fellow Huang Yulong was instructed by Master Yuan Pu to purchase 1,200 chestnut pumpkin seeds to start growing seedlings, which can already be transplanted to the farmland. At 8 a.m. on November 3rd, the Virtuous Fellows who participated in the planting organized the farmland under the leadership of Virtuous Fellow Huang. The day before, Virtuous Fellow Huang and Virtuous Fellow Hong of Shanling Branch Temple had returned the soil and sprinkled the soil with fertilizer
and sorted out the outline, tidied up a bit, and sprayed the weed through plastic cloths, and let it prepare to be planted. Master Yuan Pu also brought offerings and led the virtuous fellows to burn incense to the local mountain gods and lord of the land, praying for the good harvest of chestnut pumpkins every year. Immediately began to organize the farmland. Chestnut pumpkins are afraid of heat damage. When the weather is hot, there are many diseases and insect pests. The branch temple uses organic planting. Therefore, it is necessary to carefully manage the farmland and take care of the planting. In the afternoon, the virtuous fellows began to transplant pumpkins, started pumping water for irrigation. It is hoped that 3 months later, there will be another year of a great harvest of chestnut pumpkins. Weixin Report, Shanling Branch Temple.
Taiwan has enjoyed a relatively stable condition in the midst of COVID-19. Yet, we would like to invite every global citizen to put the prevention measures into practice. Wear face masks, wash our hands, no touching of the eyes, mouths, and noses. Maintain social distancing. Together, we should fight against the pandemic and maintain the proper functions of our societies. Thank you for tuning in today. We will be back with more updates about Chanjishan Weixin Shengjiao. Please stay tuned at 11:30 p.m. on every Monday and 11:30 a.m. and 4 o'clock p.m. of the local time in Taiwan on every Tuesday on Weixin TV. May the pandemic end soon and everyone can enjoy a peaceful and harmonious life. See you next week.